Good morning and welcome to the comment video. It's 5:59 a.m. on January 4th, 2025. And I'm going to give you the weather first, and then I have a special announcement for a special person. So the weather it's 51 degrees right now. It's pretty warm for this time of morning. It's the warmest it's been since I got here in the middle of November. That's pretty interesting. So the weather this week is mid to high 60s over the next 10 days. I don't see anything over 69. The lows average between 40 and 45. And we have partly sunny and many full sun days. I'd say 50-60% of the days are full sun, no clouds, and the rest are just partly cloudy. So that's great news for solar and enjoying yourself. I always talk about days with over 10 mile per hour winds and over, because 10 miles can gust to 20. It can be an issue, and it's nice to know. Today is one of those days. We're peaking at 4 p.m. at 12 miles per hour sustained. And the next wind day would be Tuesday, and we're going to have a little bit stronger 15 mile per hour winds late in the afternoon, which will gust to 30. And then Wednesday, we have 17 mile per hour winds, which is a little bit more serious. So that's going to be and that's going to happen by 11 a.m., 10 or 11 a.m., and it's going to go all day. So Wednesday is the 8th is going to be a very windy day. Just putting it out there for you, as well as Thursday, a little less. The peak is 13 miles per hour. Then we're down to Friday 10, and then we're good through January 12th. So wanted to let you know about that. Now for the special thing, hang on. I feel like I'm about to sneeze. So this message is actually only for one person, and there was, how should I say this, an unfortunate incident in camp yesterday. Often people will come to see me, just to meet me, and it's not a big mystery to many people where I'm camped. It's not something that I hide, and most of the time I welcome visitors. Fridays and Saturday mornings, this morning, I work. I'm a licensed counselor, and I get on Zoom calls, and I'm engaged doing mental health treatment for clients over the internet. And I have a metal sign that I put on my door that says "Video session in progress. Do not disturb," and no one goes near it. Well, yesterday, not everyone can see signs like that, can read. Some people, older people, have hard vision problems, may not have their glasses with you, and someone didn't see the sign. And it created quite the little disturbance in here, because Dottie went crazy, of course, started barking. I have a client that I need to take care of, and there's someone outside. So I very quickly opened the door and I said, look, there's the sign that says I'm in session. I need privacy when I do my sessions. And that person, that was the extent of the interaction I had. He had some interaction later with other people near the camp, and I don't think the interactions went very well. And I think this person went away feeling pretty bad about what happened, and now I feel bad that they feel bad. It was not a big offense. It really wasn't. It was just incredibly bad timing. And actually, I had multiple no shows. That's where a client just doesn't show for their session. I had like a couple of them that weren't. Had that person come at any other hour than the hour that they came, it would have been fine. So here's what I'm going to say to that person. This is for everybody. This is in the description of my channel on YouTube. There's my email address. It's Robwakeleylpc at gmail.com. It's a little difficult to spell, so I'm going to put it in the description today. the person I'm talking to, I want you to send me an email, and so I can communicate directly with you so we can meet. I would love to meet you. I'd love to have you come out here again. If you're not comfortable with that, that's okay. I'll meet you maybe for coffee in town. I hope that person is watching this and they don't feel bad about what happened yesterday, because, these things happen. They just do. Anyway, we're going to go and do the comments now. So let's get it up there. Let's get it up. Comments. And the first comment, hey, was from my nomadic dream. That's Herbie, this other YouTuber that's new on the scene and has just gone like gangbusters. I'm so excited about his channel. He says, hey, Rob, when's your meetup? So I replied, still figuring out the day. Do you want to do a joint meetup? And after I did that, I thought, well, that'd be awkward for him if he doesn't want to do that, to have this publicly asked. Luckily, he says, if it works out, yes, we just got to figure out the date. I know January and 20th are not good for him, so it's probably going to be earlier that week. I will figure it out today with him. So it's going to be Travels with Dottie and My Nomadic Dream together. Hopefully we can, I think it's for certain we'll work it out, but it's going to be at the pavilion next to the dog park in the town park. And when I announce it, I'll probably talk about it on many videos between now and then, and I'll do a little separate video explaining where it is, when it is, how to get there, and what to expect. Okay, so we will do that. The Four King Wanderers. There's nothing wrong with imitation crab. It still has some crab in it, but it's mostly made from fish, Alaskan pollock. Now, I don't know where you're getting your imitation crab salad, but mine doesn't have any crab in it. I wish it did, but it doesn't. Maybe yours does. Lucky man. I have, once I decided, well, you know what? I love the seafood salad, the imitation crab salad, but I'm going to do real crab. So I bought real crab in the grocery store for God knows. It was expensive, and made my own crab salad. I actually preferred the imitation. And imitation just means that it kind of looks like crab, but it's a different kind of fish. It's imitation doesn't mean it's artificial. Okay, it's basically instead of crab salad, it's fish salad, and it's good. And it doesn't taste fishy. You know that fishy taste? Doesn't. That kind of fish. There's certain kinds of fish that has that fishy seafood flavor. It's the kind of sea flavor. And there are others that don't. That are more like, is bland the right word? Neutral taste of like crab or lobster. That was the 14 Wanderers. Linda Clooney. Hope to get back to Q this month. Enjoying your content. Well, thank you, Linda. And the Four King Wanderers again. Hey, Rob, do you ever find out if the fattier beef was better for dogs or leaner beef? I use 90/10 and buy it from Sam's Club. $47 for 10 pounds. Wow, that's good. That's $4.70 a pound. I used the recipe from the Farmer's Dog. I was buying the pre-made meals from them, but it got expensive quickly. It was $2.20 a month for a 70-pound dog, so I decided to make it myself and never looked back. I wondered how expensive that was. I said I confirmed to my satisfaction the plainer the better. Planer. Does that make any sense? No, it's the leaner. Has anyone else noticed on iPhone, any iPhone users, that the typing really, it almost seems like it randomly puts its own words in what you're typing. And it doesn't do well for me. Then I gave a link down there. If you want to find this, you can find his comment. I put a link down there for the AVMA publications. It's a veterinary where they first veterinary studies. And it says the title of it is Feeding Dogs a High-Fat Diet Induces Metabolic Changes Similar to Natural Aging, included insulinemia, peripheral insulin resistance. So basically it's saying it's high fat is bad. So that's where I get my information. That's where I got my information from, plus from my vet. JB, I enjoyed your narration after the fact of your trip into Quartzsite. I think you add so much more info and humor when you aren't having to focus on driving and describing anything. Maybe a mix of videos. Yeah, that's another important thing is that if I'm not narrating, I'm paying more attention to driving. And certainly this month in Quartzsite, it's way more important for me to focus on driving than it is to narrate, because it's just so much busy. There are more accidents. So expect a lot. And I'm getting sort of the consensus is more either I don't care or then I like the narration. So I'm going to do the after the fact narration, at least for a while when it's busy here. Hiker97 says, I'm pretty sure I went to the other water station and got 6 gallons, 3 jugs, and 3-gallon solar shower for 4 quarters. Well, I that hasn't been my experience at the other one, but sure. I mean, that's a nice thing. Hi, Rob. Robert Ballard says, hi, Rob. From now on, I want you to do my shadow shopping. A few more sacks, and it's paradise. I guess you can figure out that my wife doesn't allow me to shop solo at the grocery store. If I were doing it, I assume we need one of everything. You do a great job, and I know Dottie and George are very glad you're their shopper. Thanks for the RTR lesson and the tour, very informative. I realize you can't judge Quartzsite from just what you see from Main Street and I-10. Be well and enjoy the walks that Dottie takes you on. Ken Gray says, on the Yellowstone, fiction becomes real. It's a story about the government saving some private land from development in Grand Teton National Park. Yep, very good news. It's nice to hear about not forcing wildlife to live in the city. Yeah. Judy Jennings says, thank you for the humor. Had a rough week, and that was just what I needed. How did the ice cream turn out after all the wandering and sitting? Take care, Judy. The ice cream was fine. Every once in a while, you get ice cream too long in the car, and it sort of melts, and then it freezes, and it crystallizes a little bit. I don't care. It didn't happen this time. But when it happens, I'm like, oh, the crystals are fine. Angel Ann, good morning, Robin, Dottie, and George. You and the babies having a beautiful day. Sending lots of love. Thank you. Renee Slater, watching your videos are making me miss Q so much. I couldn't believe someone commented on the animal hair on your shirt. Did they not know you have George and Dottie? Bye. All right, Renee. Laura Stovall. Rob, I love watching your videos. I can't wait till I get on the road. I'm totally with you. Jif Peanut is the only peanut butter. That's the one I like. I think you like what you get used to. So if you're a Peter Pan person, if you're a Jif person, if you're a natural peanut butter person, whatever, that's probably the best for you. Because there's really less additives and chemicals and things that will stunt your growth or whatever. But you know what? I'd like Jif. I can't help myself. Let's see. Quartzsite New Year's G Solo. These are fantastic, but sometimes I can't make it through to the end because of all the commercials. They are nonstop and so long, I just can't give 1 hour and 11 minutes for 25 minutes of good content. Well, what I'll say to you there is, for most of these commercials, you should be able to hit the skip button. I notice that every once in a while I'll have one that you can't skip for a long time, but mostly when I watch my own videos, I see them where I can just, after 5 seconds, I can hit the skip button. So if you don't know about that, that's a way to watch less commercials. And I think it's not I can't give 1 hour and 11 minutes for 25 minutes of good content. That's a bit of an exaggeration, isn't it? It's not that much in commercials, even if you watch them all the way through. And don't feel like you have to watch these videos through for me. And it's like, technically, do I get more if if people watch all the videos? Probably. I don't know for sure, and I don't care. What I care about is that you get to comfortably watch my videos. So hit that skip button. Let's see. Renee Slater, sounds like what I fed our boy. It sounds like what I fed our boy. He Yorkie lived to be 18. Problem with him is he was so picky and he didn't like leftovers. That's funny. 25 cents a page. Remember when it was a dime for a mimeograph? That was Ken on my Quartzsite New Year's. But I don't know that it was 25 cents a page. I was just guessing because I went into the library. I did one page and I gave her $1 and I said, keep the whole thing. So she didn't even tell me how much it was. I've been in other libraries where it was 25 cents, but for all I know, it could be 10 cents in Quartzsite. I don't know. Spider, hello, Spider here again. Hi, Rob. First thing, I'm not a she. Just saw another. Some people get kind of upset when I use the incorrect pronoun, but it's almost impossible usually to tell from the screen name whether someone is a male or a female. Just saw another ad, and so Spider, I mean, how would you know? Just saw another ad on this video selling car insurance for $19 a month. Okay, so this person has there's a very long rant about an ad on my channel for insurance and having a terrible experience and feeling like they're ripped off. And basically I said, what did I say here? I said, I'm going to ask you to submit a complaint to YouTube. I'm sorry all this happened to you, but I don't think my channel is the best place to express it. I do not think a screenshot will reveal the name of the advertiser to me any more than it did for you. I do watch my own videos with ads, and I've not seen a single insurance ad. I'm not sure how they decide which ads to deliver to each viewer. I'm really sorry that this person feels that they were ripped off. I think they ended up with Progressive Insurance, which is a big, I thought, reputable insurance company. But just let me say this. I'm not responsible for the content of the ads that are on here. There is a way for me to say, hey, I prefer not to have a particular company's ads. And I don't know how many I can do. I've never done that before. In this case, I needed the name of the company and they didn't know. But using the comment section to complain about an advertiser, not okay on my channel. There are other places to do that. You can file a complaint with YouTube on an ad. You can file, I think, with the FTC, the Better Business Bureau. There are all sorts of avenues to pursue. And like I said, I don't even know how it decides what ads to do. I don't know if everyone sees the same ads. If they're smart, they're customizing the ads to what they know about you. So, and one of the big complaints was they're saying, this person is saying things like, you can't possibly get insurance for $19 a month. Well, of course you can. If you have an older car that doesn't have much value and it's liability insurance, you have a high credit score and a good driving record, certainly you can insure a car liability only for $200 or $300 or $400 for a year. It's more common, they said, that before they were saying it was $39 a month, and that's reasonable for liability only for a used car. So, and they lead with their lowest prices, right? And can that be deceiving? Of course. You think I'm going to get insurance for $19 a month. You put all your information in and they say it's going to be $300 a month because you have a newer car. You want full coverage with collision. And I don't want to go on and on about this, but this is not the forum for that. So I wanted to leave that out there for so I remember to talk about it. And they're talking about suing and stuff. I'm deleting the comment. It's just not appropriate here. So the comment's being removed. Sorry. It's just not appropriate here. So Ken says, if you get embarrassed for getting the camera, remember the time I spent 45 minutes looking for a remote I was holding. I've done this. Where the hell are my glasses? You ever done that? It's easier to do that when you have hair, but at least for me, I don't have that excuse and I can feel it on my head. RV life. I hope you're better soon. Stay well. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm sorry. I mean, it's a great sentiment, but only when I'm sick, and I haven't been sick. And I said, I'm confused. She said, well, you sounded like you had a cold. I can't. I think it was a video that I used a lot of editing on the sound to enhance the sound, and maybe it made it sound like I had a cold. RV Life says, yay to the Yellowstone fiction becomes real. RV Life says, it seems to me there's more work to do the voiceover, but whatever you do is just fine. G. Thornton, found you through Nomadic Fanatic. Yeah, Nomadic Fanatic did a little short clip of me. We were in the same place at the same time shooting the same video with a big tent. It was funny. On an old video, 10 things you didn't know about RVing and Quartzsite. I got Arlene Griffin. So glad I found your channel. I've been thinking about van life, and the info you give is fantastic. You answer a lot of my questions and concern. If it works out, I hope to start van life next season. Thank you. Good for you, Arlene. Naj, I don't mind the narration, but I do prefer the spontaneity of the action sound. It was funny when you refer to your past self. All right. Ken Gray, Dell laptop. I have a Lenovo that started having issues when working or booting up, where the screen went black. This happened just after a Microsoft update. A subsequent update seems to have fixed the issue. Research showed several videos on the issue, including YouTube videos showing that it's a BIOS update from Microsoft caused the issue. My guess is that they're putting out a generic update, and different brands of PC need different settings in BIOS. Probably. Or they will not fix the water dispenser because people like you will go out of their way to bring them business. After all, a couple of gallons of water is more than made up for the increased customer. So he's right. You know, when I talk, people say you shouldn't tell people about that water dispenser that gives the extra water because they'll fix it. Well, Ken's saying they probably won't because you're probably driving a lot of business to them by doing these videos. He's probably right. Mighty Mouse saying it was fun listening to future Rob. I think I might like him more than present Rob or past Rob. That's funny. That was Mighty Mouse fan. Ken Gray, for the pre-questions you were mentioning, that's when people post a question based on the title of the video and they don't watch the video and the question is answered in the video. And what I said was, hey, if it's an easy answer, I'll probably type it out. If it's a complex answer, I'm not gonna do it. They can come to this video the next day, and I will answer complex questions, but I'm not gonna. It's too much like work to answer in depth to these comments and then do this video on top of that. So not doing it. And Ken suggests I can reply with the time in the video that the question is answered. And no. That means I have to go through the video and find out the exact timestamp it was. It would take less time to answer it typing than to find the timestamp where it is. My advice to you is that if I have a video on a topic, and you have a question on that topic, please watch the video before asking your question. Or ask the question and wait until the next day on this video and I'll answer it. I'll talk all day long. That's fun for me. The other stuff, like finding the timestamp and typing out long answers, that's labor. That's work. That's not fun. And if my channel starts not being fun, I won't do it anymore. Dramsey, I'll be rolling in the 21st. My biggest fear is finding a place to park my camper without making anyone mad. You know how people get about their space. Okay, so I said, just park 200 feet from others, and I pulled that number out of the air. It's from the fire department, or originally I was going to say 500 feet because I think the back of the fire truck that says keep back 500. I think it says 200. Anyway, I just pulled 200 out of nowhere, and you'll be fine. No one will get angry unless you are very loud, like those that run an open frame construction generator for hours. It doesn't matter where you're parking, really. If you are firing up one of those super loud construction generators for hours at a time, you are not going to be a popular person out here. It really ruins the ambiance of the desert to have that. So those of you that don't know, generators that have inverters built into them have two flavors: open frame and closed frame. And it's what you'd think. Closed frame has structure around the engine that makes it insulated. In the average decibels are probably about 58 to 62 decibels. If that doesn't mean anything to you, that's not very loud at all. You get 100 or 200 feet away and it's like a hum. Construction generators can be far louder because they're open frame, meaning there's no structure even attempted to muffle the sound of the gasoline engine. So they're extremely loud. Very common on construction sites where no one cares about it being loud because it's loud anyway. But camping in the wilderness here, and this is wilderness, desert wilderness, it is extremely disruptive. They're less money. Yeah, you can save a ton of money buying open frame generators versus closed frame. But the price you're going to pay is... it's going to be loud for you, too. You're going to be right next to it. Maybe you'll get used to it or don't care. But trust me, people around you do care about that. And I get it that there's some people that I got to have a generator. I can't afford a closed frame. All this is I can afford. So park as far away from other people as you possibly can and try to minimize the amount of time that you run it. Try not to run it early in the morning or in the evening. Run it in the middle of the day and try to minimize it. But you're better off saving a few extra dollars. And they're closed frame generators that are getting less and less expensive. The big brands are still expensive, but you can still get like ones made in China that are perfectly fine, that are a lot less money. So enough said about that. D. Ramsey, don't be afraid. Most people are very friendly out here. People don't get mad about their space unless you really encroach on them really closely. The rule is 15 feet. The etiquette is probably at least 100, right? But the rule's 15. They don't have if you're parked 15 feet or more away from them, they don't have it's not like they can complain to the ranger and have you moved, because those are the rules. And if someone wants to park 15 feet away from you, you cannot stop them. You can ask, and if they say no, hopefully you're living in something that has wheels on it. Pack up and move. That's all you can do. Let's see. Laugh Out Loud, you explained why you get fresh comments but didn't read them. Well, if I didn't read them, I read them today, right? Yellowstone fiction becomes real. Positive news. Wonderful news. That's from Stacy Jones. Christy Lena. That was great. Keep me company listening when I drove. I appreciate you. Thank you. D. Harmons Amont. I don't know how to parse that. Are there multiple ways of reaching your campsite from outside, for example, to avoid the big wash? Yes. Yeah, there are multiple ways to get in here. And the longest way is the way I come in here when I'm pulling my trailer. I go out almost a mile, backtrack, and come back a mile. Um, Kadewample is a listener that is close by that I've visited him a couple of times. A very nice man. Um, Camping friends got together without telling me and bought a tent for me. Totally not expecting that blessing. One less thing to worry about acquiring. I have moved about 300 feet west for better, less damaging desert ground. Yeah, I looked at your usual spot yesterday and you weren't there, and I scanned around and I saw where you moved. And I said, that's wonderful that your friends there. Um, he was worried about coming to Quartzsite. This is his first time. And he said, well, I'm not going to buy the season pass because I'm just not sure it's going to be okay. And I'm camping in a car with a tent. And so I have to be within 500 feet of a vault toilet there. And I don't know how crowded it's going to be or what the people are going to be like. So I'm just going to do the 2-week thing and see how it goes. So we did that. And I saw him, I think in the second or third day I was here, I went by and introduced myself. And he said, I said, have you met any of your neighbors? He'd go, yeah, that guy over there, he's really nice. And he brought my dog a bone or something of that nature. And I could see his eyes light up that there were other people that had to be within 500 feet of the vault toilet. They were there. And it's a little community. I asked him the other day, I said, so what happened with the 2-week permit? And he said, well, I got a second 2-week permit and that was up. So I just went and paid for the season. So he discovered the community out here. And you can see in this, they got together and they bought him a nice tent without asking, without any prompting. And believe me, this isn't a guy that's going to even hint that he needs anything. He told me that somebody came up to him, one of the campmates came up with some food and said, it looks to me like you're not eating enough. Here's a meal for you. And I forget what he said it was, but it was really good. People take care of each other out here. Some people, money's tight. At the end of the month, you get a monthly check. You're that last week before the check, you may not have much. And you may be, where's that last can of beans? But people are pretty kind out here and will take care of each other. So I'm glad to hear that. Carmen gives a timestamp there. And Ken, you had mentioned that all I have to do is click on the timestamp and it takes you there. It doesn't work for me. I don't know why. Maybe I've got a cookie blocking it or something, but it takes me to the video, but not to the timestamp. Maybe I'm doing something. Maybe I've got a setting wrong or something. You had me laughing out loud with your narration regarding the camera being left on the truck while you were in the trailer. So funny. That's Carmen. I can't parse that out, so I'm just going to say Carmen. Canadian Jazz. Hey there, friend. A fellow nomad said the flu is spreading quickly around the Quartzsite. Stay well, okay? There's no chance that that's the Jazz from Van Wives, is it? If that's you, wow. Maybe it's not, but the only Canadian Jazz I know is from the YouTube channel Van Wives, which I love. Oh my gosh. I just can't get enough of these two ladies that renovated a cabin and are on backhoes and building houses and putting roofs on. And they did it by figuring it out themselves. And you can see it evolve. From episode to episode. They started out just living in a van, then bought some property in Nova Scotia, right? I think it's Nova Scotia, where land was pretty cheap. And they got this dilapidated old cabin, and making it into this amazing place. It's like, so I watch their videos and my face is like this most of the time. Like the skill that they demonstrate by figuring things out step by step, it's mind-blowing. But it's probably, I mean, the odds of it being the same person are infinitesimal. Anyway, I can dream. Steve, I started watching a few weeks ago, and what a great find. You mentioned videos are shot in 2 dimensions. Star Trek would talk about space-time continuum, the fourth dimension or time travel. So with future Rob doing the narrative, one could say this video is also shot in the 4th dimension. That's very, very good. I like that. I'm definitely a Trekkie. I'm a hardcore Trekkie. With one exception. Well, it's not really an exception, but I cannot get into Deep Space Nine. Why don't you bring an extra container to add water into? Virginia Yankee says. This is the dispenser that gives more than it says. Because I have zero desire to complicate things. I don't want to come up with multiple things just to get a little bit in a gallon of extra water. I'd rather give it to the next person in line. ETINFL60. Seeing you on Eric's channel. I subscribe. Will be watching. Thanks for sharing. Well, thank you. Let's see. Terry, hey, Rob, watch your channel. Love it. Always informative and fun. Thanks for taking all the time and efforts to create and edit your daily videos. I really hope you have a safe, healthy, prosperous, and happy new year. This would be the year you hit 1 million subscribers. Yeah, that'll probably happen. I'm going to jump from, by the end of 2025, I'm going to jump from, 7,500 subscribers to 1 million. Probably not going to happen. I'll be surprised if I get to 10. Surprised and happy and grateful. Robert Ballard. Hey, Rob, another great ride along. The memory lapse of you forgetting the camera in the truck was priceless. That situation would never happen to me and my toys. I would have commented sooner, but I couldn't find the iPad again. Take care and have a happy new year and the best nomad life possible. That's funny. Quartzsite Comments. Did Nomadic Fanatic link to your channel like he said he would? I couldn't find it. I have no idea. I didn't look. And he's certainly under no obligation to link my channel in his video. He was kind enough to point the camera at me and introduce me. I'm beyond grateful for that. Thanks for showing us the combination to your truck door lock. Kind of a snarky comment from Steve Waldron. And I just said, you have no clue what it is. No one has ever gotten it from a video. I hear this all the time. People say, you showed me your thing. And I said, okay, tell me what the code is. And if you're right, I'll go out and change it this afternoon. And no one's ever gotten it right. So, Steve, if you get it right, all the more power to you. I'll go out and change it. But you can see my hand, but you can't see what buttons I'm pushing and what order I'm pushing them in. I mean, I guess if you slowed it down and did a frame by frame, you might be able to get it, but I doubt it. Naj, yes, I agree with you. These wilderness places are our treasure and should be saved for future generations to cherish. Jeffrey Criley, enjoyed your video. Yellow container for diesel, red for gas. At least the red container had diesel and bold black marker on it, though. Sorry if you already knew that, or maybe I missed you saying that. Looks great there. That was not my container. That was a friend's container. So, you know, I can't help that. That's not my gas container. It was my friend's, and I was doing her a favor by picking up her diesel. Mad Camper. Yeah, don't say your codes out loud. I'd say your truck is 1191. There's no 9. There's no 9 on there. I can't wait to get to Quartzsite. Stuck in And it's also I'll give you another hint. It's 5 digits, not 4. Stuck in Minnesota for a couple of years, so it's fun to go on rides with you and Dottie. Until then, thanks for your work, Rob. Good job. See, when I tell you, no one ever gets. It is 5 digits, and it's a little. I mean, even if I just showed you, you probably, unless I said it out loud, you wouldn't get it. It's amazing what people concern themselves with in videos. There was one, if you, God forbid, if you violate any traffic law, you will get people just hammering you for it, no matter how minor. And one I've gotten more than once is, you know how you pull up to a stop sign, and this is classic out here, exiting the LTVA. There's a stop sign to get onto 95, and there's a line on the pavement by the stop sign, and that's the stop line for a stop sign. And the rule is that even if there's no traffic, you come to a complete stop, and a cop watching you can tell if you came to a complete stop, because when you come to a complete stop, there's a little jerky, tiny jerk backwards in momentum on the car, and you can see that if you're looking. And if you don't see that, that means it means what the cops call, or I don't mean to say cops, I mean police call a rolling stop, and it's a violation. I can remember that clearly because I was with my dad when I was a little kid, where he got pulled over for a rolling stop, and the police officer explained to him why he knew that. And it's a pretty picky thing, but my dad got a ticket. Anyway, so from inside the car, it looked like I did not stop because, and this happens frequently, there'll be a guy in front of me and he will go over the stop line. Then he'll stop over the stop line partway onto the roadway, then go. In the meantime, I'm stopped completely behind the line on the road. So I followed the rules, and after he goes, I go. And what you're seeing is the dash cam, so you're not seeing the stop line. So you're thinking you didn't take your turn to stop. They're expecting me to stop where he did, which is crazy. But people love to comment on that and tell me I'm wrong and in violation and a danger to America. But no, you don't. If you're stopped squarely behind the line, that is your legal stop. You do, just because someone else does it wrong, you don't need to copy them. It doesn't make any sense. And it doesn't make any sense to come to a full stop partway in the roadway. That's dangerous. So, and I wouldn't know any of this if I wasn't on YouTube and didn't get these constant comments about every little thing I do. I mean, I'm drooling a little bit, and I have this paper towel I keep wiping. Someone will mention that. So someone will have something negative to say about that. I think it's pretty hysterical. But they're watching, and people that just don't like me or my channel, that they watch me and they make comments. You're helping the channel. YouTube doesn't care whether you hate the channel or love the channel. They care if you watch the channel. So if you watch me because you hate me, YouTube is going to go, good for you, Travels with Dottie. Another few more ads watch. So it's kind of on people that don't like my channel that watch it anyway to make negative comments. I don't know what to tell you. Thank you. Anyway, I hope everybody has a good day today. And, well, let's refresh, make sure there isn't one more. That's it. No more. I will see you tomorrow. Take care. Thank you.